Okay, here we go. We're gonna try again. I'm gonna check and see if this is going because it wasn't the last time. Yep, it's going. Okay, sorry for the crazy beginning. Okay, well, I'm gonna go through all my stuff again and maybe make it faster. This is Patty, the country wife from Vermont, now living in South Carolina, enjoying the heat, you might say. Actually, I really love the air conditioning. My husband loves the heat, so we're very comfortable here. I hope you've had a good week. I hope all is going well with your family. As I'm recording this, it's Independence Day, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day. This is one of those things that we have fireworks in the neighborhood, and my husband loves to go sit on our front porch and watch the fireworks in the neighborhood. Me, I don't like the bugs. So this year, rather than sitting on the porch and gritting my teeth because there's bugs, I'm going to open the shades or the blinds in our bedroom, and I'm going to lie in the bed and read a book and glance up every once in a while and watch the fireworks. Doesn't that seem like a great idea? Does to me. Anyway, as I say, I hope you've had a good week. I'd love to have you tell me what great things you've done. And if you've had hard things, share those too, because I'll be thinking about you and praying for you and hoping things get better. This week, I have done a few things. Tomorrow, the 5th of July, is the beginning of the Tour de Fleece. And I'm very much into the Tour de Fleece. I've been gathering things together. My Columbia spinner friends are going to have an event every Saturday, which I'm planning to attend because TJ is going to teach us many good things that I want to know, and will get us started. I don't for one second think that with the lessons that she's going to give us that I'll be able to immediately do everything that she says, but it'll get me started and I can always ask her more questions. On Monday this past week, I went over to her house because she was going to teach us more about cleaning fiber for spinning. And I had been given, probably 15 years ago, a good friend gave me a big bag of alpaca fleece. Now you can see this, here's the locks, here's one lock. That's pretty interesting. That is definitely, that was a second cut. That's a little itty bitty thing. That's no good. But these other ones, you can see where the cutting was. The shearing took place there. And then here is the other end. I've already pulled this apart a little bit, but usually there's little kind of spiky things on the end. And TJ showed us how to pick this so that we could get all the little, see that little ball? That's a second cut. You don't want that. But we want to pull it apart so it's nice and fluffy and airy. So when we want to get ready to card it and spin it, it will do beautifully. So that's what she showed us how to do on Monday. And it was wonderful to be there with her and to learn that. And it turns out, so here's the little spiky thing I told you about. A little bit, you don't want that to be like that. You want to pull it apart. So it's called picking, and you pick it apart. And if you find little bits of vegetable matter, we call it VM, like hay or grass or seeds or burrs, could be anything in there. There's this particular alpaca, this little bit of fluff doesn't have very much. So anyway, I'm thrilled about that. So I learned that on Monday. It was a great day. I did a ton of other things on the way home because if you're going an hour drive away, you might as well do everything you want to do over there in the hour's drive away, which I did. and got home late, and I was completely washed out when I got home. But anyway, so that was good. The rest of the week I did things like, there we go. I just found a broken needle tip. No wonder that my sewing project today didn't work as well, because that was still in there. Okay, anyway, never mind that. So this week I've decided that I'm going to be a little more monogamous with my knitting and crocheting and other handwork projects. Mainly because I realized that next Friday, 1 week from today, is the end time for the woolly thistle vest knit along. And I have been working on this green vest, which I've shown you before. And this week I got up to the point where, so this is where the armhole is, and I started the decreases for the armhole, and I put in some steek stitches so that I could continue knitting in the round. So just doing knitting instead of doing the knit one row, purl one row, because you see that my stitches are not very even. My tension is not great. But when I do the stockinette stitch, which is knit one row, purl one row, it's even worse. So if I do put in the steek stitches, then I can do the decreases and still keep just knitting around. I've got, let's see, you see this little pink marker shows you where I started going straight up, because I've already done all the decreases for the under the armhole, and now I'm going straight up. I have to go straight up for 2 inches, so I've got another inch to go. And then I'm going to get out my book again to figure out how to do the neckline. This is Amy Herzog's Ultimate Sweater Book. It says, The Essential Guide for Adventurous Knitters. Well, I suppose I am adventurous, because I wanted to make this thing, but I needed some help. And so her book tells you everything you need to know, and tells you how to make adjustments, everything you need to know. It's a fabulous book. And so when I get 1 more inch done on the straight up the armhole, then I'm going to read what I have to do. I know I have to cast off quite a few stitches in the middle, and then I'm going to put a steek there so I can continue in the round until I get up here to the shoulders. And then comes the fun, which is cutting the steeks and then doing the finish work. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going well. But that knit along ends next Friday, so I need to work pretty hard and fast to finish that vest, but I'm fairly confident that I can. Another time crunch thing is these socks that I'm doing, which is a test knit. And I will tell you, I can't wait till I can tell you all about this, because I love this pattern. I love it, love it, love it. It's nice round toes, nice round heels. They fit perfectly. There's a part of the pattern, there's a calculator. The woman who has created this pattern and has us testing, I think there's maybe a dozen of us testing it, has a sock calculator. Fabulous, just plain fabulous. This fits so well. I've never had a sock fit so well, and I have made quite a few socks. Anyway, and that deadline is next Thursday. But I didn't say, but right here I've finished all the stuff, all the knitting that takes thought. Now I just need to go straight up as high as I want the sock to go, and I'm probably going to go another 3 or 4 inches and then do the ribbing and then bind off. And she has a bind off that is lovely, lovely. I tried it on something else and it was fabulous. Okay, so those are my 2 time crunch pieces. Then there is the Finest Kind sweater that I'm working for my husband. And there's no time crunch on this. It just needs to be done by fall. But it will be, because I'm working I work every day, 1 or 2 or 3 rounds, and now I'm at the rows because I've gotten to the armpit, or have gotten to divided for the front and back. So this is the back, and I was thinking of doing a steek, and then I realized the steek is when you're using stockinette stitch, and you want to keep all the stitches, the knit stitches looking good. But this, because this is a double moss stitch, it's the same whether you're knitting it flat or in the round. So I'm decided I'm going to divide it. I'm going to follow the pattern exactly. Well, I say that, but I got here and I found that I had 4 extra stitches on one side. So we're having to make adjustments there, but we got plenty of time to make adjustments to get the count right. And since this is the first time I've done it, I want the count to be right. Okay, so another project. Last week I showed you the loom with a placemat project in place, and this time I show you that the 2 new stick shuttles came in the mail, and so yesterday before I went to bed I put on the yarn, and these are ready to go. And today before I go to bed I'm gonna weave at least an inch, hopefully a little more than an inch, because this is a different pattern than I've done before, and I'm very anxious to see how it turns out. I think it's gonna be wonderful. But if not, it's gonna turn out the way it turns out, and I'm gonna give them away anyway because I'm making them for this person and I want her to have them. Okay, one last thing I'm gonna bring up was a little sewing project that I did today. It's pretty awful, but it got to the point where I needed some more pot holders. I have some beautiful crocheted ones, and I have a knitted one, but I have many that I probably have 10 pot holders that have been given to me by people that I love over the years, and they're now in terrible shape. They're stained so badly. I've never been able to get the stains out, and they're worn out, and there's holes in them, and I have to use 2 or 3 at a time or I get burned. And so I decided, okay, I need to make some new ones. And I saw a little reel on YouTube, or I don't know, Facebook, on this little pot holder. This is a very simple pot holder. It took me 2 sewing machines to do it because the one that I thought was going to work perfectly, the needles kept falling out of the little needle holder. I don't know why. I kept putting them back in and tightening the heck out of them, but I don't know. I couldn't tighten them enough. They kept falling out. And I don't know what the story is, but I can tell you that then I went to the other sewing machine and I finished this. And it looks terrible. It is awful, but it's going to work. I used two squares of 100% wool quilt batting and 1 square of 100% cotton quilt batting. And I sandwiched them together, and this makes a nice big fat thick pot holder. And the only thing I can tell you is I used 2 fat quarters, and I will tell you right now that when I make more pot holders, which I fully intend to do, I'm going to make them larger because this is not quite big enough. I think that it's probably, let's see, here's 8.5 by 11, so it's probably about 8.5 inches square. But I think the pattern I saw called for 10.5 inches squared, and I can see why that would be. But anyway, I might do I'll put in the reel if I can do that, so that you can see how to make them, because they're very easy if you do it with just 1 layer of batting. I'm going to try another one with one layer of batting in cotton and one layer of batting in wool, a third one. So I'll have 3 new pot holders, and I'll see which one I like best. Anyway, I am thrilled to be able to doing this, and I'm thrilled that tomorrow is Tour de Fleece. I can't wait. It means that every day for the next 3 weeks, except for Tour de France rest days, I will be spinning on my spinning wheel. Either the Ashford Traveler that is sitting here to my left, or the Ashford eSpinner 3, which is upstairs in my workroom. And hopefully I'll spend time on both of those wheels every day. And by the end of the Tour de Fleece, I'm hoping my yarn will be much more, what is the word, consistent. Instead of being thick and thin, I'm hoping it'll be all consistent. And I'm hoping that as we are learning the things from the Columbia spinners, that I will learn how to do long draw and self-striping yarn, and how to take yarn that comes in braids and turn them into yarn that I can use that will be very happy. So that is it for today. It's been a good week this past week. I've accomplished a lot, and I've had every night was a good night because I worked so hard during the day. And I even got working on the table, though I'm not going to show you now because I've got so much stuff piled on it for now. But I'm working on the organization, and it's going to happen. So, best wishes to you all. I'll end with my mantra: do good, be good. Let's do it together now. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye now.